On Leandro Trossard at Brighton, Nubaid, what do we know?
So Arsenal are in talks with Brighton over a permanent move for Leandro Trossard. No official offer yet, but Arsenal are expected to formalise their offer for Trossard at some point. He's got 6 months left on his contract, definitely not 2 months, but they do have an option to extend a year. What we also know is that the Brighton chairman, Tony Bloom, will not move unless his valuation is met. So a lot of moving pieces. We also know that Tottenham actually had an offer rejected as well. So a lot of moving pieces still, long way to go for this transfer, but it feels as though Arsenal have put their foot forward and are saying they're very interested in bringing Trossard in. They've had a few communications here and there, and also Trossard has fallen out with De Zerbi recently, which I think has actually fallen perfectly into Arsenal's hands. Mudryk's deal went away, probably looked around the market for someone else who was like relatively cheap or a cheaper option, and then in comes this Trossard fallout with De Zerbi, and Arsenal have a chance to step in.
Yeah, have your say, hashtag transfer talk, and if you head to the Sky Sports Transfer Centre blog, you can post your comments there as well. They've had a poll running about whether Arsenal should sign Leandro Trossard. 71% of you there saying yes. They've had a few comments as well. Paul says could be a blessing in disguise for Arsenal. He clearly wasn't on the radar with the pursuit of Mudryk, but as things don't always turn out in your favour in football, it leads to other channels. Trossard could be a very good signing, he says. Brighton fans saying, can't say I'd be overly sorry to see Trossard go. He's a great player, but only turns up for us in the bigger games. And Joseph says, I personally feel like Trossard will be a good signing. We lack depth at the moment, and it's proven that this guy can score goals against the top teams. Joseph says, however, anything more than 20 to 30 million is not worth it, in my opinion. So Arsenal have been looking for that wide player. We mentioned Mudryk there. Is Trossard the answer?
Yeah, I think those 70% of people on the poll are pretty accurate, because I think he'd be a really good option coming in. We know they've lost out to Mudryk. We know that they really want backup options to both Saka and Martinelli, someone who can come in and provide competition. And I think Trossard would do just that. He's quite versatile, can play across the forward line on both wings. He's got lots of really good attributes. He can also play in that central role just behind the striker, because he's really good at link-up play, really good attacking force, breaks the line. Progressive passing is one of his big attributes as well, and we can see some of his stats here. 16 games this season with 7 goals scored. That's something he's really worked on and finessed this season in particular, and I've got nightmares of that 3 he scored against Liverpool. But yeah, that's something he's really developed and could come into Arsenal, like I mentioned, has that proven Premier League experience that so many clubs are looking for this season, especially because it's January and Arsenal going for the title against all expectations. What they need to do is build that squad depth and make sure that they're really strengthening from the top and from their position of strength, and I think he'd be a good option to come in and do that.